So we wanted to parameterize our username and password details that we have entered in internally. So instead of passing those values inside the implementation, I wanted to pass these values from my step definition. So how we can do that is Cucumber supports something called parameterization. So how you can do parameterization is you have to rewrite this particular statement. Like for example, where user is on bank login page and he enters username and whatever the username that he wants to pass. Okay, and username and password. And we will pass the actual username and password in the feature file itself. So since these are the string variables, you have to double quotes. You have to enclose those username and password values using double quotes. See, now you have to write a step definition for this particular statement. So when you hover on it, it will give you this suggestion, create step definition. When you click
Yeah.
on that and choose the existing steps file itself, login steps, see, it created a step definition like this. So now earlier what we have done, we have used this particular method, right? Login actions dot enter login details. So you can use the same method, and in this method, since we are passing the username and password, so we are passing the username and password from feature file, right? So what happens in Cucumber internally is this is the first argument. Username is first argument. And see, here it is replaced with string. So the link how this links is, so the first argument is username. You can parameter it as username. And the second argument that we are passing is password. So you understood, right? How the link, how it treats. So whatever the first argument that you are passing, this is the username, right? So this value, this is the first parameter that we have enclosed in double quotes. So this is it will treat this first argument as username and the second argument as password. Likewise, if you have some other argument, let's assume and username and password, let's assume email. So you have to create a step definition again, login steps. And see, three values are enclosed as a string and username, password, and this would be email. You have to, this one, you can update with username, password, and this is the email. Since for our case, we are having only two values, right? I'm just removing the extra thing that I just added. So from feature file, I'm able to pass my username and password. So you have to say for login details, it requires the username and password, right? So I have to pass these values to the my method, username and password. Done. So if you run your scenario again, I'll just run the scenario. You can see the username and password values that you have entered in your test report now. So it is failed at some step. What is that? When he enters username and password, it is saying no,
Unable to locate
unable to
element.
locate element email.
Yeah.
Oh. Are we using CSS select for app input for email? Okay. So I think we are using different method for login. We have two applications. One is for practice website, and the other one is for bank application, right? So there are
Yeah.
two methods for login. Okay, bank login elements. Login button. Yeah, this method we have to use. So this method requires user ID and password. Login into app. Let's go to our feature file. So here what happens is we are trying to log in into the bank application, but we are choosing the select identifiers of our practice website. That's the reason it is unable to locate element. So while creating our step definition, you have to make sure you are using the correct method. So here earlier we have enter login details. This method is for our practice website, but this method is for login into bank app. This is this method for bank login application.
Bank. Okay.
Now if you run, it will work. So it enters username and password and successfully logged in. And you can
Yeah.
see the test should pass now. But only change that you will be seeing is the test report will be different than the earlier report. You can also see what username and password that you entered in console as well. Like this is the username and password that you entered, right? So
Yeah.
if you go to this report again, open in browser Chrome. Yeah. So you can see the username and password that you entered for used for login. If you go to the earlier report, that report will not be visible because the same report got refreshed. But you have not seen username and password in earlier report. So that is the advantage of parameterization using Cucumber. And one more thing. So if you are passing anything like strings, you have to enclose that in double quotes. But if you are passing any integer value for let's assume you have to verify some amount on the screen. So amounts usually integers, right? So you
Yes.
can directly pass that as directly integer. For example, I'll just write some dummy statement here and verify user should see some 100 records. This is not a real time scenario, but I'm just giving an example. So since an integer is also an argument, but you don't have to specify that in double quotes. See, that is the difference I'm just creating. See, you did not mention that in double quotes, but Cucumber automatically convert the value, whatever the integer value that you have specified. So that will automatically parameterize it as an integer, and you can use that variable number of records. Okay, so this is the way of parameterization using feature file. So any questions so far?
No, Mahesh.
So in our next session, I want you to practice at least this bank logging application with data parameterization. I'll commit this code, but you have to make sure that you are also doing practice, and then only will you will get some idea, like you will face some issues, right? So I can
Yeah.
clarify in our next session, like if you are stuck somewhere.
Okay, Mahesh.
Okay, Mahesh.
I'll commit whatever the changes that I made today. You can take
Yeah,
the
sure.
reference.
Okay.
Okay, Divya. Okay, Pavan. Thanks.
Yeah, and even send this recording also, Mahesh. Like once we'll go through it and
Yeah, yeah, sure.
yeah,
I'll upload
we'll
in.
start practicing.
Yeah,
Mahesh,
I'll share
Mahesh,
the link.
I have a question.
Yeah, Pavan, tell me.
Like for me, I logged in my Hostinger webmail. Not Divya. Anu wants to send link to my mail,
Uh-huh.
and she's
So,
sending email. My email is not working. The older one. I'm using other one.
so yesterday you have shared with Anu, and that email is not working.
Anu shared some link to in the email
Okay,
that Pawan dot I my old one is pawan.irony@hnsglobal.com.
okay.
That's my old one.
Mm-hmm.
And
So,
right now I'm using my for Hostinger. I'm using pawan@hnsglobal.com.
so that email who gave you? Pavan at hnssglobal.com. Who gave you that email
Sa-
ID?
Satya,
Satya?
Satya gave me that ID.
Okay, okay. So, but you are not getting any emails on that account?
I'm getting that banking details, everything.
Uh-huh. Then?
But yesterday Anu sent some link to that email.
Okay.
You're
For
talking about group invite, Pawan,
group.
right? Yeah,
Yes,
now I
yes.
got it. Okay.
She sent some
So,
group invite.
okay, let me just send some dummy email to you. We'll see whether you are receiving.
It's like join the H&SS click up team, Mahesh.
Okay,
Like I
okay,
got
okay.
this.
Zira tool.
Yeah.
Okay, understood. So, you are able to log in into that particular mail, Pavan,
Yes, yes, ma'am. I'm able to log into the pawan@hnsglobal.com.
but you are not able to get the link to your email ID, is
Yeah.
it?
Yes, yes.
Okay, let me go to that ClickUp. Stop sharing here. Sorry.